Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Greasy Monkey Show. We've got some exciting new things for you today. It'll be weird in itself because we're kind of restructuring. Not even restructuring. We're just taking a new route
I like that.
from our usual weird ways.
Yeah, it's weird that we're going away from weird a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's something that, I don't know, maybe it might spark a little bit of discussion for you guys to talk about, not to do anything, not that you could.
So we're going to go back a bit to our roots here. We're going to talk about some movie-related stuff.
We sure are.
But yeah, what have you watched recently? Is there anything other than the movie we're talking about?
Just the other night, I watched The Dark Knight again.
Yeah, I started watching it too because it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I did it while I was folding laundry, and I was like, "Dang, this is a really good movie." I really like that movie.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
Good.
Other than that, though, anything like new though? No, I finished up a show on Netflix, or caught mostly up. You'll probably make fun of me. It's called You.
Oh. It's like the stalker one, right?
Yeah. So I watched that. Not really a movie, but it's all right. It's all right. Some parts are like very unbelievable just with how some of the people talk. But
there's something to watch, I guess.
Yeah. So.
All right.
So just been working down those.
Yeah, you actually wanted to talk about this. What our topic of the show is today. Yeah.
So our topic, the way we're doing this, guys, is that we're gonna do like Danny said, we're kind of going back to the roots of the movie incorporation to our show, and so we're gonna try to come with a topic to discuss. Then we're gonna do a little movie review of a movie that we both watched, and then we'll also incorporate some of the weird stuff that we do with our other that you guys come to know from our other episodes. So when thinking about a topic of discussion to kind of kick off the re-entrance into the movie stuff, I thought to myself, well, and I've discussed this briefly before on the show, was the topic of streaming services versus your traditional movie theaters and the kind of battle that's going on between the two.
Right. And
what side that maybe we find ourselves leaning on like which side that we think is right or which side that we think should be right, and maybe some of the consequences and how the future of movie going is going to be impacted. So
yeah, which we might be a little bit late on, but it's still a can of worms to open up. So
yeah,
there's plenty to talk about with it. What are your initial thoughts on that? I know you've still been going to the movies.
I mean, I say I've been going to the movies, but I've only gone to like maybe 3 throughout the pandemic. Maybe. I don't even know if that sounds a little high. Might be only 2.
Really? I thought you've gone more than that.
No, I went to see the movie The Little Things. I did see Tenet twice. So I guess that is the 3.
Right. Did you get
and
rid of your AMC pass?
I did for a little bit, but I still have it actually.
Okay.
So,
I wanted to bring that up as well.
Yeah. So like my initial feeling of it is that I will always prefer the traditional movie theater experience compared to the streaming. I know that with the pandemic and everything, the streaming services are going to be viewed as the safer option, if you will, and that's a totally fair and valid point for the streaming side. But as far as like the movie industry as a whole, I feel like if we want to be able to still experience, and I haven't done enough research on the numbers on this, but I feel like if we want to still be able to ever in the future experience the big movies, with all the money that's put into those, you have to have a steady or at least a supported traditional movie theater system to go based off of.
I completely agree. So I actually have a couple of stats here. So according to Statista.com, according to a study held in June 2020, just 14% of adults said they strongly preferred seeing a movie for the first time in a theater, and 36% said that they would much rather stream the film at home than visit a cinema, which is the opposite of what you're saying. So people would disagree with you.
Yeah.
Preferences for watching a new release in the cinema instead of via streaming service in the United States changed significantly between 2018 and 2020, signaling a shift in consumer behavior and potentially a risk for movie theaters in the country, which is not news, right? We knew this. But obviously COVID influenced that, and people are just preferring to stay in than go out. So as far as that, I mean, I agree. There should be an outlet where these spectacle or visually dominant movies should be able to be seen on a big screen.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead. Keep going. I don't want to cut you off.
The example I think of is watching a 2001: A Space Odyssey on a computer screen is a completely different experience than seeing it in a theater. That movie was meant for a big screen. And I'm sure a lot of these blockbusters are, and I was going to bring that up later. It depends on the intent of the movie and the filmmaker, because some people make movies for a streaming, and it might be more of like a television style. But yeah, that's basically it. But I haven't been to the theater since seeing 1917, which is like 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, that was late 2019, I think.
So me personally, I haven't been going as much as I used to. I don't know if that's whether I'm just busier than I used to be, and streaming is convenient at the moment. But yeah, as long as there is always that option of going to a movie in the theater. And unfortunately, the theaters are just going to have to accept that because people aren't going to go as much, And Disney realizes that, so that's why they've been focusing on streaming, releasing that new animated movie on Disney Plus.
Raya of the Last Dragon, or whatever it's called.
Right.
Yeah.
So how would you feel about? I know some older filmmakers are just like, there's a difference between movies and films, and you can't watch a film without it being in a theater.
I mean, that I can see that's kind of an archaic way of looking at things. It's almost like it's the people that are arguing, film versus a movie. It seems like they're, I don't want to say uppity, but they're trying to fish
I see a difference between a blockbuster movie and an art film. Okay.
Yeah. But
there's a fine line with pretentiousness there, in my opinion.
Yeah. I would say that that's not the argument to make if you are trying to save the theater business, the movie theater, like the AMCs, the Regals, all that type of stuff. I don't think that's because when you have like, as a grand scheme of things, you're not going to win that battle by trying to get the people that go to movies to see these art pieces. The art pieces are going to be great. They might be great movies, but they're not always going to be the big draws that are going to get you the money that you need to make back the money that you spent on the movie to keep the theaters. Yeah. So that's where you get those blockbusters. The blockbusters, while they're not as good maybe in terms of, your details of the movie, they're always going to save the movie business because you're going to draw the crowds to the theaters.
Yeah, it's kind of this. Okay, I'm going to explain what Scorsese said here. You might have seen this before. So regarding the way streamers view movies, Scorsese said, "The art of cinema is being systematically devalued, sidelined, demeaned, and reduced to its lowest common denominator when film is reduced to content, such as streaming." So he said, like, the term content was heard only when people were discussing the cinema, like, years ago, but now it refers to anything you can watch online, content.
Right.
So it's contrasted with and measured against form, and he's going into more like criticism of film criticism. But then he stated, like, gradually it was used more and more by the people who took over media companies, most of whom knew nothing about the history of the art form and even cared to think that they should about the art form. So he's just, I guess the word would be butthurt, because like everybody's moving to streaming and they don't care about film history and the movie theater as an experience,
Right. So, right. And I can appreciate the movie theater experience because that's what the movie goers experience more so than they do the history of movies. Like
Yeah.
when you're in the business of movies, that's a whole different thing. But when you're the consumer of the product, what I value the most is my experience when I go to see a movie. The As far as like you can get down to even the nitty gritty of like, oh, I get a tub of popcorn, a soda. I go in, I have this surround sound,
Yeah. Yeah.
dynamic of whatever type of sound system the theater is using. I have the giant screen. Whether it be a plus or a minus, you have the crowd. Just you're experiencing
Yeah.
almost like an event. Like if you think about like this, like for those of you that have seen the Harry Potter movies and those midnight releases, you had those crowds and crowds going to go see that.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's pre-COVID, so that's one thing. But at the same time, you went to those because, yes, you're excited to see the movie, but there is a sense of community, I think,
Right.
that you
Yeah.
go out there and you experience it with people.
Mm.
And then and to kind of to also touch on what you said before about certain movies are night and day different between seeing it in theater and seeing it at home. Mine goes to the movie Gravity.
Right.
It was immensely better when we saw it in like the IMAX 3D.
Mm-hmm.
Like to think about seeing that like that, and then to think about seeing it at home, it doesn't even really compare.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
So
at all.
you have this
Because
experience.
that's going back to intent for me. The freaking what's his name? Oh, that directed that movie. It's eluding me right now.
I can't think of his
I
name.
can't think of his name. But Alfonso something. I can't remember.
Alfonso Cuarón.
Yeah, Quran.
Cuarón. Yeah.
He didn't make that movie for it to be on a small screen. He made
Right.
it to be seen on a huge screen. And what was I getting at that? Oh, I just want to clarify my position. I'm right down the middle. Okay, I don't take I'm taking the middle route. So I just depends like on the movie to me. And Scorsese, I just wanted to add, he explained that like what he's trying to say about content versus how it used to be viewed in just a movie sense. Now it means all moving images. Like, so a David Lean movie, which is meant to be seen on a big screen, is judged equally as a cat video on YouTube, a Super Bowl commercial, a superhero sequel, an episode of a TV show. So it loses that value in his eyes, you know?
Right. And then like I think my overall stance on it is that if we want to be able to expect all this money to be put into making the best possible movies out there, whether it be art pieces or blockbuster films,
Right.
you need the theater. Because think about it like this: if I was a director, and obviously you make the movie to send out an experience, but it's a business, you're also doing it to make money. Why would I put in extra money to have a lower return on something where if everything's going to be streaming, one family of 5 or 6 people can pay $30,
Yeah.
and then the streaming service gets a cut of that $30, and then the rest of it goes to however else that money is moved.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you have at the theater, you have 5 people going into a movie. Even if it's only $10 a ticket, that's $50. So you're already cutting me from the theater to there. So that's lowering my return on what I've put forth the work and the effort and my own money into.
Yeah.
So you're going to lose the experience of those great movies that we've come to love, come to enjoy, whether it be summertime blockbusters.
I don't want it to go away. I think we're agreeing. We agree with Scorsese generally.
Yeah, no, I think that to me that streaming is great. I just don't think streaming is the way to go for immediate release gratification for the consumer. I think that the theater should still take precedent in that if you want to see a movie that go to the theater. Sure, it might not be right now with COVID and everything, but once that is solved and that tails off and things hopefully get back to a seemingly normal pace, go to the theaters. And then if you go to the theater, you have to wait a couple months to have it go on to streaming. Maybe not as long as some movies make you wait for like a DVD release, but whether it be 2 months, you have to be able to like, okay, do I want to go to the theater? If not, all right, I'm going to have to sacrifice that with the 2 months time to then see it at my own house.
Right.
And then you still might have to pay it. So I don't know.
I don't think theaters are going to be ever the same way that Scorsese is saying they'll be. They'll still be huge blockbusters, and people are going to go out in droves to see those once COVID clears up. But it's never going to be like every movie is going to be in the theater and it's going to have that experience. And he just has to accept that. And he comes off a bit pretentious when he said that, which was a couple years ago. And I get film history is important, but average people don't give shit about that.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so it just comes off as a bit pretentious. But who cares? If you go to the movie and it's, or no, you don't go to the theater and you're watching it streaming. People are still connecting with the story, so that's the basic thing about movies.
Yeah, I think you lose a little bit of the experience by streaming, but you still get to watch the overall product in terms of the story, the characters, the message that you're trying to send. As long as, like I said, unless it's like a technical feature, kind of like how Gravity was, where you lose a little bit of the message by not seeing it because you don't get that feeling of immense loneliness in the theater. But you still get to connect with the story, connect with the characters for the most part. So yeah, so you're never gonna have it be 100% one or the other, I don't think. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, I think that if it were to go 100% to one thing, I think streaming obviously has the upper hand at this point because it would be so much easier.
Yeah.
To switch it over to streaming because everybody's dipping their hands. Everybody has a streaming service now. Everybody's getting in on that game. Yeah. Whereas not everybody has the ability to have the movie theater, option.
And I was exactly going to say that too as well. He doesn't mention that older movies are more accessible than ever right now. You can go online and rent a freaking 1930, silent movie. And he even goes onto Netflix. He did The Irishman on Netflix. So he relented, and you just got to accept the change of the times and the platforms. It's just the way it is. But also, like YouTube and Vimeo has made it easier than ever to make your own movies. So it's like you can't.
Yeah.
That content argument is hard because there's still art being made out there.
Yeah, it's just not on your traditional platforms and your traditional way of making it, but that shouldn't necessarily take away from the ideas that are being put into production and on whatever scale it is, whether it be a multi-million-dollar project or just a couple $100 put down and some second-rate editing software, something like that, but
and
either way,
that's kind of what I'm going to mention later about the movie review. So I just wanted to add this because I heard about this before. I don't know if you did. He said that Marvel movies were not cinema, comparing them to theme park rides.
Oh.
I wanted to get your opinion on that because I know you're a Marvel fan.
I love Marvel movies, so I'm not on his side with that.
Do you think it's like film, like it should be taken as seriously as, let's say, I don't know, Citizen Kane or something like that?
I mean, I think that those are in a way that's comparing apples to oranges. You have, like you said, you have blockbuster films and you have the artsy films. Yeah. Yes, they are in the same arena, but they're not always, comparable in terms of the aspects that they highlight on. You have these blockbuster, the comic book films, the superhero films are based off of a source material that, yes, it is going to be based off of the comic books that that people grow up reading. It's all the action. That's what comic books are. So having it come to life on the screen is they take their own little views and their own little twists on the source material, but at the same time you have to think like Citizen Kane isn't being made from that same source material. So Citizen Kane can be appreciated for something completely different than what a Marvel movie would be appreciated for.
I get what you're saying. So my question would be, can you appreciate Marvel movies as film art though? Like, is there a way to the formula that makes it worth being considered seriously? Because all of them are the same. Let's face the facts here. They're all about an origin story about superheroes until they all come together. Well, that's a cinematic universe, but
I mean, I think that you can appreciate them and how well they execute what they're trying to do.
Sure.
So, you're not going to appreciate it, maybe the underlying story that's as original as maybe like a Citizen Kane's story is. Mm-hmm. That piece is made from somebody's original idea.
I'm not trying to compare it.
Right. But like anything that's like more of like an original story, it's tougher to compare that to because yes, like the original story is always going to have that little bit of that unique X factor that's going to put it up over that source material type of origin. Mm-hmm. So, how are you going to how can you sit there and say, well, I appreciate that these movie makers made this movie based off of somebody else's idea, whereas this movie was made based off of this same person's idea, and they made it into what they originally intended it to be.
Okay.
So I think that you can appreciate the Marvel movies or the the superhero movies or whatever for how they execute the original story and maybe how they do their own twist or how well they do it. But in
Okay, so you're
terms of
talking about adapting the source material.
yeah, but like as far as though like appreciating the film, like the original screenplays or whatever, the like you said, like the non-blockbusters, the non-superhero ones are
Right.
always going to have that factor of like, okay, it's going to have that leg up in terms of how well can you appreciate the movie itself, I guess.
Yeah. And
So
yeah,
I think,
I
so
don't
yeah,
know, man, because entertaining movies like that are so much different, and they all, again, they follow a formula, and you're exactly right. It's how they execute it. Um, I mean, but people enjoy them, so can't knock them for
yeah,
that.
and like I said, I mean, without them, I think you find yourself in a situation where movies are struggling even more because you have less people sending that revenue into the movie industry, whether it
Yeah.
be like you said, the droves of people go to see the blockbusters, the Transformers, that type of stuff, and the theaters.
Which kind of sucks because that's what only theaters are going to be for now.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, as much as the art pieces, they want to say that, oh, we're better than these blockbuster films. I don't think you can really have one without the other. You need the blockbusters to be able to drive the success or to encourage people to go and help make those art pieces a success, because you're like, oh, well, I went to the movies, I enjoyed the experience that I had with this superhero film or this blockbuster film. I enjoyed that experience. Let me go back and enjoy the experience on a movie that maybe that I wouldn't have ever expected to have wanted to go see, but I enjoyed the experience for this, so maybe I'll enjoy the experience for this movie that is still interesting to me, and I'll go pay the money to go see it.
Yeah, the thing is, though, studios are so audience driven, they'll keep making of what people are going to see. They're not
Yeah,
going to take as many risks unless the filmmaker, makes a blockbuster and he's like, all right, I'm going to do something different. And I'm going to
right,
put
right,
this out
right.
there. So I don't know, man. It's all a business. It's all a
Yeah,
business.
I mean,
But
and there's no 100% guarantee that that any movie that's made will be a success. It's always a risk at that point, but I mean, you just have to keep hoping that the movie makers enjoy doing what they do enough,
sure,
aside from the money, that
sure,
we still have an opportunity to go experience these things. But
sure.
we do, I think, need the streaming service to not take over, because once that goes, then I think there might be a dip in quality and amount of movies that are being made and the quality of the movies that are being made, because just let's face it, money drives quality. The more money you spend typically is going to mean the better quality you're going to get. And I'm not talking about acting. I'm talking about, well, and acting does
Well,
cost money.
I would disagree with that a little bit,
Yeah,
but I
but I mean,
I
like,
like
but in
smaller films though. So
right, but like in terms of like if you're going for special effects or something like
yeah,
that, you're
definitely,
the best thing you're going to need is money. And if whatever, if I want to get the best of the best, stage production or whatever else I need to have for for
how
you
dare
know
you?
for every aspect of for every employee on the set, if I want the best of the best, I'm going to need more money to pay those best, because they're going to demand
Sure.
the best type
Okay.
of pay.
Yeah.
So in terms of an entire production, the more money you have, typically you're going to have just a better chance at having a successful movie. That's not to say though that low
No, I don't
production
know.
costs can't
These
make great
studios would
movies.
throw like millions and millions of dollars behind a crap
And
idea.
oh yeah, and then those will turn out as crap movies,
Yeah.
and that would completely destroy my point. I'm just saying, like, in terms of probability, the more money you have typically will lead to a better chance at having a better movie.
It's a gamble.
But yeah,
It's a
yeah,
gamble.
always a gamble.
So I have
So
another quote here from Spielberg, kind of going off the whole thing we're talking about. So he says, I hope all of us really continue to believe that the greatest contributions we can make as filmmakers is to give audiences the motion picture theatrical experience. I'm a firm believer that movie theaters need to be around forever. And for context, he said this after Roma won all those Academy Awards. And it
mhm.
was released on streaming, but they put it in theaters for a week just to get it
Oh,
eligible for the Academy Awards. So he was
mhm,
kind of pissed off about that.
right.
Um, so that's interesting to me because I don't know. Roma is a great movie. I like it a lot. But did I need to see it in a theater? I don't think so. I mean,
Mhm, right.
so it's just like I said, I'm down the middle with this. So he's just mad that this movie from a different platform got all this accolades that you know, that wasn't viewed in a theater, you know.
Hmm.
So
Right. Yeah, I mean, I get like I said, I get the argument from both sides, but I'll always feel like I'm leaning more towards the movie theater side, just because I've been an avid movie goer for a while now. I mean, obviously, like you said, like COVID kind of knocked me down off of that, just because of one, theaters being closed, and two, movies even being released in theaters. So, um, but like I said, I get the aspect of, all right, it's safer to have the streaming services. If you're gonna watch a new movie, it's safer to watch it at your home than to go out while everything's being solved.
I think Spielberg
Um,
should embrace streaming a little bit though, like Scorsese did, because he's gonna get these more personal films out on streaming. I mean, he still makes pretty big movies, but if you want
mhm,
something a bit smaller, then you have a better avenue for it than trying to, you know, get
right,
I don't know $1 billion back from it, putting it in the theaters. But
right.
I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
it's just you. I guess we just don't want, like I said, we don't want it to be 100% one or the other. Hopefully, the movie makers have the option
Yeah,
to do it one way or the other.
yeah.
And I think that's the scary part, is that if everything does go streaming, everything's going to be streaming, and then at that point, then the streaming services kind of dictate how much the movie makers can make off of these movies, because they're willing to pay
Mhm.
for the streaming service to present their movie. I don't know. That's a whole nother topic, though. Like, at that point, thinking about where the power then lies in terms of the movie releases and all that type
The
of
way
stuff. So,
Scorsese and Spielberg view um, movies in theaters, I think, is dying. But I don't think the theaters are going to go away in general. So
yeah, I mean, I'll be surprised if it does 100 like completely go away, but I think that it'll take a little bit of a hit. Once everything does go back to normal, I just don't think it'll be ever back to what it used to be before COVID. Um, and
maybe.
but hopefully they tread enough water and they can kind of reestablish themselves in a way that maybe isn't the same as the old, but is still in a significant amount of a way that people can still go to the movies enough and feel like there's still enough access to movie theater movies as opposed to just streaming movies. So
Okay. So I think that's a pretty
yeah,
good way to end that discussion.
yeah, yeah. So
We weren't
um,
really arguing against each other.
no, yeah, we're just kind of, I think, like just saying points
Yeah.
for the listeners or
Yeah.
viewers to kind
Just
of
food
think
for
about.
thought.
And
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and hey, listeners, viewers, if you guys
Weigh in.
want to, yeah, weigh in. What do you prefer? Do you prefer movies to go full streaming? Do you prefer the movie theater experience? What say you? So
What
just let
say
us
you?
know. Yeah.
All right, so the next
So,
thing I wanted to go to here is we both watched a movie for the movie group this weekend. Why not? Let's review it on the podcast.
yeah.
So it was the movie called Creep. It's streaming on Netflix, made in 2014. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, I want to get your thoughts on it. Just to start out, it's directed by Patrick Bryce, who also plays one of the main characters, Aaron. And then Jay
Okay.
Duplass plays Joseph, the other
Right.
character. And spoilers ahead if you, yeah, don't
Yeah, if
want
you've
to.
never seen it and you
Yeah,
want to watch it,
yeah.
pause now, go watch it. It's actually a very quick movie. I think it's an
It's
hour
an
and
hour and a half.
15 minutes.
Yeah, no, not
Yeah.
even. Yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll put like a timestamp where you can skip to the next part.
Okay. That's probably a
But
good
2014 was
move.
pretty long ago. All right, but
Yeah.
so yeah, the writers and the director both play the main characters. Jay Duplass is big in the indie scene. Usually plays quirky characters and makes indie movies.
Hmm.
I want to get your thoughts on it first. Go ahead.
Geez. So this movie, it played right into the title. It was just a very creepy movie.
So our understanding was that it was supposed to be a psychological thriller, right?
Yeah, in a sense, yes.
I
The
didn't
way
know if
that
I
our
was getting into a horror movie or what was going on.
right, I didn't watch the trailer or anything
Yeah,
for
neither
it.
did
I
I.
just saw that it
Oh,
was something like it was like the Craigslist idea of, hey, you're meeting up with this stranger for a set
oh
amount of
yeah,
money and you don't
yeah,
know what you're doing.
yeah.
But
That's funny you mentioned that.
I'll tell you though, like that was like halfway through the movie, even beforehand, like it's just it almost like an unnecessary sense of anxiety when you're watching it. You're like, holy crap, like I'm not on the edge of my seat, but I feel like I'm just about on the edge of my seat. Like, what the heck is this guy gonna do next? Because the guy was a creep. He was so creepy. It was so weird. And and yeah, so I mean, in that sense, I will say that it did a good job of keeping me like keeping me focused on I guess the well-being of Aaron's character, which I guess you would say the main protagonist of the film.
I guess. Yeah.
Even if you could even say that there's a protagonist, just kind of like the person that happened to answer the ad.
Right.
I got a very at some points in the movie I got very Paranormal Activity type vibes from.
I could see that.
With it's all found footage. So for those of you not knowing it, it's a very found footage. It's handheld type camera type of viewing. So
a lot of horror movies are like that for some reason.
Yeah. So any of the darker scenes where it was like dimly lit or anything like that, or so just quiet, and you feel like you're there with the guy, you're like, holy crap! Like when Joseph runs downstairs, that was creepy to me. He's just standing there with the mask on. It was just a weird. It was a weird movie.
Yeah.
So I did enjoy that. My biggest issue was the ending.
You didn't like the ending?
The ending I didn't like with how it ended up for Aaron, because I felt like he was a huge idiot.
Right.
I was like, you weren't necessarily the smartest throughout the movie, but you were smarter than that.
So, I had the same criticism there. Personally, I thought Aaron wasn't even an interesting character at all.
Right.
But I guess he didn't need to be for this type of movie.
Right.
So he's just the guy behind the camera, just like a normal person. But yeah, through most of the movie, he falls for Joseph's lies. Like, he's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Like, why should I root for him if he's that dumb, So, especially towards the end, I was like, all right, well. But the only redeeming factor by that is Joseph even points it out. He calls attention to it. He's like, he's stupid. Like, why would he not look behind him? So I thought that was interesting. But yeah, that was one of my criticisms as well. But
yeah, I mean, I was like, when you see when Joseph makes the last film, and he's like videoing around and like, oh, it's a public place. There's no places that he could have been hiding.
Yeah.
And it shows Aaron by the bench, and he's like literally like he looks around 360 degrees like twice.
Yeah.
He hears the chainsaw, looks again, and then where would have Joseph even been? There's one tree. There's a single tree, and it wasn't even that big of a tree.
I thought it was kind of predictable. I was expecting the axe to come out at some point.
Yeah, and part of me was like, all right, is Aaron gonna turn around? Like, there's no way he's being this silent.
Because he truly believed that Joseph was a good person.
Yeah. And then just the boom, like it took forever like that. You're like, all right, wait, is he actually going to? Is he actually going to do it?
I love it.
And then he actually does it.
He kind of like creeps up behind him with the axe. I think it's
great. So,
he always does it like something out of a Looney Tunes cartoon or something like that.
Yeah.
Like creeping up. Like,
yeah, he's just, he lives on with his erratic behavior. So, I don't know. I'm so conflicted on what my rating should be. Because, like, I talk about it, and I'm like, okay, they did a good job. But then it's like the ending, I'm just, how did he not turn around? How did he not feel still freaked
Joseph
out?
Was a good person. No, it's pretty stupid, honestly. But like I said, the redeeming factor is that Joseph calls him out on it.
Right. So how about you? How did you feel when you were?
I thought it was hilarious, and it's intentionally supposed to be that way.
Like with all the jump scares, he's like, "Oh, gotcha again."
Just how Joseph acts. Like through the first half hour of the movie, it just seems like he was messing with Aaron as much as possible, and it was like something we would do when we're acting weird. It just made me laugh.
He's like, the tubby time was weird. Then he like is running ahead of him and then just jumps out at him like 3 different times on that trail.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. So I thought Jay Duplass did a really good job with the character. like he gives it enough, I guess, ambiguity and
Uh-huh.
like humor to make it interesting and to follow it. Yeah, he's definitely weird. It wasn't particularly scary to me.
Right.
He's not super threatening, I would say.
Well, no, not threatening. Just I think more of his mindset and his
Yeah.
mental stability is what's threatening.
The only two things I didn't really jump at any of the scares, or yeah, the jump scares, but the two like I guess frames or images that stood out to me. There's a part where he's standing at the top of the stairs and the only practical light is a porch light behind him,
Yes.
and he's just standing there. I thought that was a good image. And then
Right.
the other one is the obvious one where it's towards the end, 2/3 of the way, where he's standing in front of the door with the mask on. And
Right.
Everyone's like, "Are you trying to scare me?" And he's just like, "Yeah." So
Yeah.
that was the creepiest part to me.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there was more of that. I wish there was more stuff that made him seem like evil, you know?
Right.
And more,
Right.
like I said, more threatening instead of just this weird guy.
He was just a freak. He was a creep. He was actually a creep. And I guess the other part that I wasn't really sure about was the whole part with the sister on the phone.
That's another criticism I had.
Like, is she an accomplice?
They
Like,
never come back to her.
yeah. I was like, she tells him to get out, but never says why. And like, she had to have known then what the brother did. Otherwise, why would she be saying you need to get out of there?
Yeah.
So like at that point, is she an accomplice, or is she just the worst possible person to raise a red flag for you?
It's definitely a plot hole, I think.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I do like that we don't really know for certain anything about Joseph other than Angela is related to him, I guess.
Right.
Because he's a chronic liar. So
Yeah.
anything he said, like, "Oh, I used to be an actor, that didn't work out," that might be a lie. Like towards the end. So I kind of like he's this faceless predator, I guess.
Yeah. Cops couldn't ever trace him to anything because
Yeah.
you don't really know. Like even when Aaron tried to call the cops, he's like he had no information on him.
And then at the end, he's just like
name.
makes up another name. Now he's Bill, so he can
Yep.
be anyone. So I like that a lot. That it's like we don't know anything about it. He's just this.
Yeah.
He could be anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting to me.
Yeah.
Also, the thing with found footage movies is why do they keep filming during all of it? That's just a criticism of the genre, you know?
Right. Right.
There's the part where he's trying to get the keys, and it's like, why are you filming? Just get your ass out of there. Like, there's no point.
Right.
The the movie wouldn't exist unless he kept filming.
Right. Right.
So, but there is a few moments where they kind of play with your expectations about the genre. Because there's like, I think 2 scenes where you think you're watching something, but it pulls back and they're watching it. So I really like that.
Yeah.
Other than that, you can tell it was a low budget movie,
Mm-hmm.
obviously.
Yeah.
And I put all this. I'm basically reading off my review, but they definitely just came up with this idea about like somebody on Craigslist like putting out an ad and just like, okay, let's go film this right now.
Yeah.
And that's why I respect it in that sort of way. And I think it was effective for what it was, you know?
Yeah.
This no budget, like, darkly humorous, you know, creepy movie.
Right. Right.
So what was weird is I saw a while back on Rotten Tomatoes, Creep 2 was on there.
Uh-huh.
And it had really good ratings, so I was like, oh, this must be good. And it's like, after seeing this, I'm like, where else could they take this story? But I guess just from looking at the reviews, it's like, oh, they play up the humor even more. Like, there's probably better acting. Because let's face the fact, Aaron wasn't the greatest actor either. That's partly why I wasn't very interested in him.
Mm-hmm.
But
like
I said, it works for what it is. It's a no-budget, like, on-the-fly movie.
Right.
Kind of like Blair Witch or something like that, but
yeah, that's another one that it felt like Blair Witchy at times with the dark lighting and all that type of stuff. More so Paranormal Activity, just because it's inside the house as opposed to lesser outside. But yeah, I think that they did a good job with, like you said, like low budget, but they took like a very relatable idea of, you know, everybody knows about Craigslist, and I think there's a general rule of thumb that you follow with Craigslist. You don't usually want to go meet anybody on Craigslist alone. And this is kind of a story as to what could possibly happen if you do. So
yeah, so the main takeaway I got from it is surprisingly funnier than I thought it was gonna be, and I'm interested in watching the second one if there's more of that because I thought it was great. I was great.
Yeah, so
especially the first half hour, it kind of lulls in the middle, and it tries to tread this line between having that weird, funny humor and then trying to be scary at the same time, which I wasn't invested in the scary parts as much.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I do like weird things, so.
So yeah, this is if you like weird things, definitely check this movie out. It was weird to say the least.
I was thinking after weird. This I might watch the second one.
Yeah.
Because I did just look on the thumbnail on Netflix, and it looks like there's a girl character he's targeting this time.
Yeah, I saw the description, the like 2-sentence description. It's like, yeah, this girl responds to an ad and like she thinks that he's the man of her dreams until something sinister comes out or something like that.
I think that would be an interesting dynamic that they can play with, but yeah, I don't know because towards the end, where he's like basically in love with him, I guess, is the implication here.
This is weird.
He comes off like so straight faced about it, and like
yeah,
kind of normal, like that towards that end.
Yeah, he's like, how did you not turn around? But you're the greatest human being in the world. You thought I was good. No matter what I did to you, you kept thinking I was good. He says it so so seriously. It's weird. Yeah. So it was.
So that made it kind of unrealistic, movie. But I like the first half hour especially. I thought it was funny. So he just like starts running out of nowhere.
Yeah, he first goes upstairs, says, "Let's get in the tub," and he's like, "That was just really
I
strange."
think it's intentionally supposed to be funny.
Right. So. Right. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5.
Oh wow!
Yeah, just like I said, for the humor I found and the respect I had for it as a no budget movie.
Right, right. Mine,
I was hovering between 3.75 and 4, but.
Oh, okay. Mine, I've been going like the more I think about it, it's like the ending. I'm just so mad at how stupid he was. Just the fact that he doesn't turn around, and I'm like, I don't care that he died. It's just like how he died. And like he was right there for like 2 minutes. It takes him to come up and kill him.
Though I'm saying because he fell for all the lies throughout the movie.
Yeah,
he's a dumbass,
I guess like,
but
yeah. I'm like I keep going to kind of in between like a 3 and a 3.5. So I don't really know. I think I can't say it until it's my time to review.
It's gonna get. I don't know what it's gonna be. It's gonna get.
Oh, murdered. I think it will. I don't.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure like.
We're not supposed to pick scary movies.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm assuming that more of the girls won't enjoy it, and then I don't know though.
I really enjoyed it actually more than I thought I was going to.
So I mean, hey, it got you said a 4 out of you, so that's pretty good. And I mean, I'm not going under a 3.
For what it was, so. I know what like I said, we're going back to intent here. They made it on the fly. Like I didn't think it wasn't made for Netflix, but just like. They probably sent it to a couple film festivals or something. Then it got picked up by Netflix. So
yeah. So I mean, hey, it's one of those movies that I definitely wouldn't have watched as I scrolled by without it being in the movie group that we have, and I'm glad that I was able to watch it because it was an interesting movie. Like it was entertaining. It kept me entertained. So that's really
like I said, toward the middle when it tries to be more scary, it kind of lost me a bit.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, I was, with like the packages and stuff like that, did get a little bit of like, okay, where is this going?
It still subverted expectations because after that point you think the bags are a body,
right?
And it keeps going after that, which was cool. But I don't think they had a very structured story here. They were just like, all right, let's just go out there.
Right. So I don't know.
Towards the beginning, like. The cool thing about found footage is it sets up the stage, basically, because he goes through the house while filming. And so you know where they're going to be later. It's kind of like Paranormal Activity where yeah, establishes the setting, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, okay, he's setting up what we're going to be seeing later, basically.
Hmm. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I don't think it was a bad movie by any stretch, but I don't know what I'll give it a rating. I'm
Yeah, like I
still
said,
kind of as I think about it more.
The more I thought about it, the more I liked it for what it was. That's why I'm giving it
Hmm.
a 4.
Okay.
I can definitely see why you wouldn't like it as much, but
Right. I mean, like I said, I didn't dislike it, so it's not. I'm not going anywhere under a 3.
I'm not strongly
But we'll
opinionated
see.
about it. I enjoyed it,
Right.
but
Right. No, I mean, I can see why the points you made about why you enjoyed it. I was like, yeah, those are fair points. So,
and I think I'm gonna
you know,
watch the second one. So
there you go.
all right,
So,
so that's Creep. Go watch it if you want it. Want
yep.
to see it? So now let's move on to, I guess, the weird side of the show.
Yeah, the weird side of the show.
We have
this is,
Joseph calling in from Creep.
yeah. Can you imagine? He calls it and he is his character.
Okay, him, Bill Gill.
Right. He'll get them all the round table.
Okay,
a
so
weird
we're not
round
going to
table.
spend as much time on the weird stuff. We are going to call this segment One Weird Thing.
Yeah, where we each bring one weird thing to the other's attention.
Okay, I
And
want to see
your
what
attention.
yours is.
You what?
I want to see what yours is first.
All right, so you want me to go first? Okay, so I found this headline, and I kind of did what you do, where it's like it it's just a funny headline. So here's where it says, "Half-eaten sausage solves 9-year-old German burglary."
What? Half-eaten sausage?
Half-eaten sausage
Wait, so
solves.
oh, I got an idea of this. So the burglar just couldn't resist. There's a sausage out on the counter while he's in the house. He's like, "Oh man, that looks good. I'm hungry. I didn't eat before this." So he takes a bite. They have his DNA now, but he just could not resist that juicy, delicious sausage sitting on the counter.
Yeah, no, actually, it was the sausage itself solves the burglary.
Oh, you're
Sausage
thinking that the sausage can talk. It's like, so the burglar doesn't know that though. So it comes in, steals shit.
It comes in. This half-eaten sausage is like, I saw everything.
The police come in and they're like looking around, and she's like, the sausage just speaks up. "I've got it all figured out."
No, actually, you are close as to what happened.
Did you seriously take a bite?
No, not that, but you'll see. So this happened in Berlin, and German police say they have solved a 9-year-old burglary after DNA found on a half-eaten piece of sausage matched that of a man detained in France over an unrelated crime. So police in the western town of Schwelm said Thursday that the sausage belonged to the victim, and the suspect, a 30-year-old Albanian citizen, appeared to have helped himself to a bite during the March 2012 break-in. So he did!
Oh my god, what an idiot.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even read all the way through on that, but he did! He actually, during the break-in, he ate part of the sausage.
Dude, he was so hungry, he could not hold it in.
So it wasn't clear what type of sausage, known in Germany as Wurst, the burglar had nibbled, though police said it was a hard variety. Investigators were recently alerted that French police had taken a matching DNA sample from a man involved in a violent crime. But Schwalm police said the suspect remains free and, in the worst case, okay, come on, he may have escaped punishment.
He's still out there.
I can't believe
He's still
it.
out there. Do not leave any sausages on your counter. They are in danger.
I cannot believe this. They spelled it W-U-R-S-T, and they did not put any apostrophes around it or quotation marks around it. It's just spelled, and in the worst case.
That's how the ripe one was too.
Yeah. So yeah, sausages beware.
Beware.
So it says the statute of limitations on the burglary has expired, meaning he will likely not be extradited to Germany. So he's still out there. He got away.
That's scary.
As Mr. Incredible said, He got away.
That's scarier than anything in Creep, honestly.
Yeah, a German
He eats my
burglar out.
sausage. Are you kidding me?
It just takes a nibble. Like, like the worst part is that if I was looking forward to that, I can't even eat it now because it's like, oh, who took a bite out of this? Like, at least eat the whole thing, so I'm not even
I
teased by
know.
it.
Yeah.
But like, you left like you just took a bite.
I wonder if that says something about like how he's so comfortable about making these burglaries and that he'll never get caught. That he's like, all right,
Yeah.
I'll just take a bite of this and never catch me. No, it's a clue. It's like,
It's
oh,
a clue.
catch
It's
me
a
if you
calling.
can.
It's a calling card. Everywhere he's gone, he leaves a half-eaten something. That would happen to be a sausage.
No, it's always sausage. He only preys on sausages.
He's looking around in somebody's home. Come on, there's got to be sausage here. He's like, dang it, it's still frozen. He cooks it up.
Yeah, goes through the effort.
takes a bite out of it and then just leaves the rest. Oh my
The
gosh.
sausage burglar.
What a turn of events that you had it nailed. You had
I
it
wasn't expecting
right.
it to be true.
Me neither. I was like, oh, I saw the part about the DNA, so I was like, oh, they just matched it. But then, yeah, I guess when he actually did the burglary, he ate a half-eaten sausage.
That is definitely weird.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
You're welcome. I hope everybody, keeps track of your sausages.
Yeah, this important information. Watch out for your sausages.
He's out there.
Just make sure you finish your sausages. Don't leave them.
Yeah.
Don't leave them out.
If he's gonna burglarize you, at least he won't get your sausage. So.
All right. So you know what I got. It's the usual. It's
the usual.
The usual.
You're too much. This is too much. It's too much.
Too much. Okay. Turkey storms into and destroys dentist's office.
Just storms and he's in there with a vengeance. Storms in, like, seems like he's stomping around.
He was belligerent, non-cooperative, loud.
And was it like smelly or something, or unclean?
Yeah, something like that. Foul smelling or something like that.
Foul smelling and doesn't listen to commands and instructions.
Doesn't leave. Okay. The large bird reportedly caused significant damage to the dentist's waiting room.
Oh.
Reportedly.
So it's not been confirmed, just based on reports.
I just love they show a picture of a turkey. Just no one loves going to the dentist, but this is a bit of an overreaction.
Wow.
Storming in.
He really personified the turkey. Like, this is a bit of an overreaction by the turkey.
It's like, come on. I mean, everybody hates it, but that's too much, you know?
Or you don't see us destroy their lobbies.
Too much. Just
He pulls out the gun. You're too much.
A turkey reportedly made a bit of a mess at a dentist's office in California. Apparently, the animal was known to hang out near the building. It's a real loiterer, I guess.
A loiterer? He's a known conspirator, like a known associate of the dentist in the area. Yeah.
Always hanging out, taking drags of cigarettes outside the building. Drinking.
He's a known local call.
Nobody likes him. Let's face the facts here.
Word got out. That's why he storms in.
Although the workers at the office weren't prepared for it to come inside. One of the managers of the dentist's office in Fair Oaks, California, says that she was having a normal day when out of nowhere the bird crashed through the window out of the office.
Through the window?
The bird crashed through the windows of the office.
Oh my gosh. How big is this turkey?
I mean, turkeys are pretty big, though.
Yeah, but like, imagine how fast they'd have to be going to crash through a window. You see out there like dragged feet, like it's gonna charge up, and then
Apparently, the bird entered with so much force that the woman thought the bird had been thrown into the building.
What if the turkey was? Check the sausage position.
Donna McDonald is her name.
No way. That name is not the most ridiculous part of this.
I just don't know.
Donna McDonald? No way.
She thought that the office got hit by a car at first. McDonald says that she found the bird stuck in the patient waiting area, which was thankfully empty at the time. Because who knows, people could have died.
Yeah, she crashed through it, like obliterates the person. Or it just explodes. It was hit so hard.
According to the shocked woman, the turkey was scratching and clawing at the walls.
Instead of trying to get out, it's just like...
It needs to be locked up. This turkey's out of its mind.
Scratching and clawing at the walls. Like, I'm going to take this place down.
Causing a significant amount of damage.
Down with the establishment.
Call in the white coats. This is it. It's the straight jacket too.
They come in with like a baster. Like,
oh, the white coats too. It's like we got to take care of this. That's happened before. It's.
They come in with like a stove top. They're like, all right, you're going down. We're not wasting.
Oh, okay. Animal control was called, although they reportedly had trouble wrangling the wild bird. Fortunately, the turkey was eventually captured and removed from the office. Thank God.
Oh, good.
One animal expert theorized that the turkey may have seen its own reflection in the office's window and attacked.
Like it had been hanging out that whole time for months. You looking at me? He throws his cigarette down. You have a problem here? Charged up?
Apparently, the turkey was part of a larger gaggle in its mating season for the birds, which would account for the potentially aggressive behavior. As for the waiting room, it will reportedly need the walls repaired and repainted. Also, shattered glass reportedly ended up cutting up some of the chairs and will require deep cleaning to further remove.
The explosion of the glass was that impactful that it cut up the chairs. Like the shards of glass went like everyone. Can you imagine that? That means that when that happened, if people were in there, it would have like punctured their skin.
Yeah, so thankfully nobody was in there.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Death by turkey glass breaking.
Turkey is a murderer at the dentist's office.
Wow. So I was not expecting it to be that much, but it did storm in. I guess the most true, but it is reportedly.
Yeah, reportedly a lot of damage. Who knows? They might be, ramping it up to make headlines.
Okay, it says destroys. Did it really destroy? I guess they've caused damage, but I don't know if it destroyed the office.
Yeah.
But so both were like pretty close to the headline of ours.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Donna McDonald. That's a made up name. I know it. It's got to be
made up.
Donna McDonald.
No way, that's a weird
Give me a break. Give me a break.
All right, so that's it for the weird things for today.
Yeah, that was our one weird thing from each of us.
Okay, so we're going to introduce the winner of the last what, Kyle?
The last who, what, when, why, weird contest.
So we're going to get here on the chat and, let's do it.
All right.
Emma, welcome to the Greasy Monkey Show.
Hello,
we have a new guest.
Finally.
Yes.
I'm finally here.
Yeah.
Yes, we were surprised to see that you were the winner. I know we've already discussed on the show before how we thought it was going to be impossible, but
I know.
In Emma fashion, she conquered the impossible.
I made it work.
Yeah,
yes,
I mean,
you're
the one of 3 people that comment, so I'm glad we got a variety going here.
So I should be the third person on.
Yes.
Right.
So if there was anybody else as the third person, like, all right, something's wrong here.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
Awesome. Yeah. So welcome.
Yeah.
Do you have?
I'm honored.
Do you have what's that?
I'm honored.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
This is a big honor. Okay, this is the biggest, best podcast in the world.
I know.
At least
wear sunglasses when I go out in public now.
Yeah.
Right. People can be like, wait, Emma from GMS?
From the Greasy Monkey Show. No way.
No way.
Well, we're glad to have you here. As I've told you in person, there's literally, you can talk about anything. I understand you have something that you might have prepared.
Yes.
And we are on the edge of our seat to finally experience it.
I've been trying to think of something interesting to discuss.
Okay.
Oh.
And
Okay.
also a little weird, but not too weird. So,
I like
Okay.
I don't know how into serial killers you guys are, but
Okay.
I have a game.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
It's Two Truths and a Lie, but about serial killers.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
If
All
you're
right.
interested.
Yeah.
So we're in a
very
scary
interested.
theme because we watched a scary movie for this show.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's keep going.
Okay,
This
so
is
if
great.
you want, they're popular people. I can give you like a brief description of them before,
I'm
just to
gonna nail
refresh
this.
your memory.
Sure.
Okay, so
Sure.
the first one is probably the most popular, Ted Bundy.
Okay.
So just as a recap, he's an American serial killer who kidnapped, raped, and murdered numerous young women and girls during the 1970s. So after more than a decade of denials, he confessed to 30 homicides, but they believe there's a lot more. Okay, so the three facts are: he kept the heads of some of the people he decapitated.
Okay.
One time he saved a child from drowning, and he was in the Navy.
I just watched the Zac Efron movie.
Mm-hmm.
About it.
Did they say anything about the Navy? But I feel like maybe that he would have. This is tough.
I 99% sure he wasn't in the Navy.
I'm gonna say my guess is that he didn't keep the heads of people.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
Navy for me.
He was not in the Navy. He said he was. He said he was, but they could never find any record of his name.
Darn. All right.
Come on,
All right.
Kyle.
I was like,
serial
maybe.
killer. You don't think he would keep the
I know.
heads?
Well, my thing was like, that's the only like bad thing that was listed. So I was like, oh, maybe it's kind of like a red herring type thing. Oh, this is
An absolute moron.
I'm so
What an
sorry.
amateur.
I am. All right. I'm just getting the rust off. That's all.
Okay.
What an amateur.
Yeah,
Okay.
seriously.
I know.
Okay,
No.
the next one is John Wayne Gacy.
Okay.
Okay, so he was also an American serial killer and sex offender known as the Killer Clown, who assaulted and murdered at least 33 young men and boys. He regularly performed at children's hospitals and charitable events as Pogo the Clown or Patches the Clown. So,
Wow.
your three facts are: he was a member of a clown club called Jolly Joker. He was a manager of a fast food restaurant. And he was sentenced to death on 10 counts. So 10 death sentences.
I am going to say he was not a manager of a fast food place.
Maybe they couldn't pin him on all the murders, so I'm thinking maybe it's that.
Or he didn't have to be sentenced to death for all of them.
Oh, that's true.
He could have gotten other sentences.
That's true.
Yeah,
What's
I'm
your answer,
gonna
Danny?
go with that one. Last one.
10 death sentences?
Yeah.
You're right. It was actually 12.
Dang it. Danny is good at a game for once, and I suck.
I just have to put my mind into, the mind of a serial killer and think.
Right. Right. And it's his mind that allowed him to either get sentenced or not. Because like
Right.
if I can be him, what would it be?
Like if he's him, I would only get sentenced 12 times.
Right.
Right.
All right. This is tough. I like it.
Okay.
I'm so
At
good.
least for me, it's tough.
The next one is Richard Ramirez.
Okay.
So he was also an American serial killer, serial rapist, kidnapper, pedophile, and burglar.
Not a nice
His
guy.
highly, yeah, he's my favorite.
Oh.
His highly publicized home invasion and murder crime spree terrorized the residents of the greater Los Angeles area and later the residents of the San Francisco Bay Area from June 1984 to August 1985. So your three facts are: he was identified by his victims by his teeth. He has a pentagram tattoo on the palm of his left hand, and he would study his victims' routines ahead of time.
Hi, I have no idea.
I'm gonna guess he wasn't identified by his teeth.
I'm gonna guess that too, because that's how Bundy got caught.
Any particular reason, or just because of that?
I think that if he got away with it that long, he had to have known what he was doing. So he was probably studying his victims, so he knew when to best to do it. And then, the pentagram one is almost like too specific of a thing. So I'm going with the teeth thing. I think maybe they identified him like
I
some
have
other
to
way.
go the same one. I have to go with the same one.
You're both wrong.
Damn.
What was the answer?
He would pick his victims at random, entering houses if their doors or windows were open.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
I know.
And he got away with it. Like that was like a total of a year that he got away with all that.
Yeah.
Wow.
his teeth were like famously really bad. So he has like a well-known. He's like well-known for his smile.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is it that bad of a smile?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like the Grinch.
Wow. I would have thought for sure, like, you getting away with those type of crimes for that long, you had to have been doing your homework.
I know.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
What do we know?
Man, I'm 0 for 3. How does it feel, Dan, to be on the incorrect?
Oh, it feels great.
Once?
Oh my god, it feels so good.
It's all the pressure of being perfect off. Right.
Okay, I have one more.
Ooh, okay.
This one is Charles Manson.
Ooh, all right.
So he's an American criminal and cult leader. In 1967, he formed what became known as the Manson family, a quasi-commune based in California. His followers committed a series of 9 murders at 4 locations in July and August 1969. So, 1, he was born without a name. His 26-year-old fiance wanted to display his dead body, but that was never carried out. Or he only actually killed 1 person, and he had his family do most of the killings.
The last one's correct.
I think the last one's correct.
He only killed 1 person?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Oh, or maybe it said he's killed only like 2 people. But I want to say that the first, I think he had to have been born with it. I think he was born with a name. Like, I don't know.
I'm gonna go with that one. He wasn't born with a name.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do just to be different. I'm gonna do the middle one with the body being displayed.
Is that your final answers?
Yeah.
That's my final answer.
You're both wrong.
No way.
I knew it was a fact that he didn't carry out much of the killings.
He never killed anyone.
Yeah.
You never killed anyone?
That was the fact.
Dang it.
He was born without a name. I think it said on his birth certificate it was no name Maddox or something like that.
Oh.
So technically he didn't have a name until he was like 16.
Wow.
I thought he stabbed someone or something. I was like, maybe the guy died. I don't know.
I don't know. It says he never killed anyone.
Wow. So I went 0 for 4. Dang it. I thought for sure I'd get one of them. Yeah.
I thought you'd do better at this.
I know. I thought so too. But those are some good, like, 2 truths and a lie. They all seem believable to an extent.
I was trying to make it like hard, but at least with people that are familiar, so you'd have some idea.
Yeah. No, that was good because, like, people that are listening and they're playing along, we'll see how well they do.
Yeah,
I also didn't want them to be like, I didn't want them to be completely depressing, like.
Right.
So I tried to find fun ones.
Oh, that was good. Those are good names. I think I'd heard of everybody except the guy with the bad teeth.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd ever heard of him.
There's a Netflix documentary out about him.
Called?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought maybe you had like the title on hand, but it's okay.
I'm not
branding
for Netflix out here. They can do it themselves.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely had heard of, like, Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, and Marilyn Manson. Or Charles Manson, I mean.
Yeah.
Marilyn Manson, the
Who's
singer.
still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Ted Bundy's really famous here, I guess, because of his FSU killings.
That's true. So. That's true. So we definitely know him around these parts.
So you should have got that one right.
I should have. I thought for sure. I was like, I don't know why. I was like, oh, maybe he didn't keep the heads. No way. But I was a fool.
No way. Who would do that?
Yeah. Who would? It'd have to be a psycho to do that.
Well, I did like at the end of the, I guess the fictional one with Zac Efron, that really emphasizes the victims and like says their names and stuff at the end. So. Yeah. Because it's a movie about a serial, you don't want to like glorify that. So.
No.
Yeah.
It's like a fine line between glorifying it and just getting the information out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I did like how, like, the movie does justice, like, when people are like, how could people possibly fall for him and his act? And it's like, well, if you see it through the victim's eyes, like, he doesn't, like, you have that question of, all right, well, maybe he's actually not a monster. And then it's obviously revealed that he was.
Yeah,
like, oh, wow.
Guy. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that was I think a good nod to, like, defending the victims from the people that say, like, oh, how could you possibly fall?
Well, it's easier to just say that, though, when you're not in the situation, too.
Yeah.
I started listening to it, but the same director did a documentary just about Bundy as well. It's called, like, Conversations with the Killer. It's about him just making all his confessions and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So I never finished it, but it's interesting. But in the extremely, what's it called? Extremely Wicked, Incredibly Vile, and
No, it's
like
it's extremely wicked, incredibly something and vile. Incredibly shocking. Yes.
So I thought it was interesting how the judge at the end was still kind of like telling, "Oh, you could have had you were a bright man and you could have had a great future in like the court system and stuff." That was weird to me. But that's
like at that point, really, I don't know.
Yeah. It's like, wow, it's such a waste. Like, oh, you were such a good guy. I'm like, no.
But that's
like
true. That's exactly, he's quoting the real judge.
Yeah.
And that was,
that's just weird.
So while I was looking up after this, I saw that he probably started killing people when he was in his early teens.
Wow.
That's
like at what point was he a good guy that like threw his life away if he was already doing that as a teen?
Right. Yeah. I feel like you'd have to be like an oddball even before you did all the killings, obviously, with like, starting with animals, I'm so assuming.
Right.
So, but yeah, that was an interesting movie. But talk about
James Hetfield of Metallica makes an appearance as the cop that pulls him over.
Oh, okay. Man. Talk about like it's so bad that serial killers are so interesting, but they are. And it's
I mean, they capture the public's attention because it's so out there, and they could be out there, So.
It's true. So,
I enjoyed that was a fun game, yeah.
That was fun. I enjoyed that. I'm glad I did bad at it because I think that we've established that when we do bad at games, it's more enjoyable for the listeners than like, if I just knew right off the bat.
Yeah.
So I like the tough ones where I'm like, if I get one right, it's maybe one.
Yeah, like listening to you singing and Danny has no idea what you're doing was really entertaining.
There we
See, it wasn't as bad as Kyle thought it was, I thought it was still funny. But
I didn't know a single song either, so don't feel bad.
Oh, wow. Dang it.
That's surprising.
Dang it. Now
maybe one. Maybe one.
I'm
all distracted in my argument.
What?
You're not a big Disney fan?
I don't have anything against Disney. I just don't really like listen to the music in my free time, so I don't really know lyrics.
See, I'm not the only one. I mean, I did used to listen to it a lot, though. But not anymore.
Man, I'm having holes poked through my argument here. I'm losing water.
Well, thanks for having me. If you guys would have told me about the FSU memo, I could have matched.
Oh, I know. I had no idea until we turned on the thing. I was about to wear my Patrick Star hoodie, and then I listened closer. Yeah,
always
again, I know.
Every time.
Yeah. Well, one time I wore my Hufflepuff sweater.
Oh yeah.
One time I wore that, and so this one I'm wearing this. So
maybe I'll wear an FSU outfit to watch the podcast.
There we go, and you can feel like you're
part of it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I know exactly. You don't even have to watch us. You can just I know what they're wearing, and I already talked to them. So I'm part of this.
Right.
So,
exactly.
Did you have any parting words about any of the podcast or like anything in general?
Yeah. Anything you want to say? Shout outs, whatever you want to say. Mic is yours.
No, I have nothing to say. I enjoy the podcast. I enjoy listening.
Awesome.
Well,
as
always, we always thank you for your support.
Thank everybody who listens.
Yeah, we're glad that you finally got on.
I know. I'm glad I could make it work.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks again. Hopefully, you'll be on again eventually.
I know.
Yeah. We'll have another. We'll have another Who, What, When, Why Weird. So stay tuned. Danny's going to try to post this today.
Yeah. So. I'm always prepared.
There we go.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye, Emma. Thanks for being on.
Bye.
Thanks again, Emma, for that fun game.
Yes, it was. I enjoyed it. I'm glad I did. Like I said, I'm glad I did wrong or I did bad.
How did you not get the first one right, though? Come on.
Because, like I said, I thought it was like a all right, this is too easy type of thing. Like, because what was the Navy? Because I remember I was originally like, was he actually part of the Navy? And then I was like, well, no, but I mean, I was like, all right, that almost seemed like it was going to be too easy for it. But I'm glad I got it wrong. So it was fun. It was a fun time.
Yeah, so we're going to move on to the next.
Who, What, When, Why? Weird.
I guess this one isn't very separate, so I'll just say it all.
Okay.
In this very disturbing GMS throwback, what were these absolute vicious creatures seeking out with a vengeance? Absolutely vicious creatures seeking out with a vengeance. So I repeat.
Yeah.
In this very disturbing GMS throwback, what were these absolutely vicious creatures seeking out with a vengeance? Comment it.
Here we go.
First one gets a guest spot.
Yeah, you guys just saw it. You can bring on your own game if you want, or bring on whatever.
We can talk about movies. We can talk about anything, really.
Yeah, the spot is yours to structure as you please. So leave us the answer. Be the first.
Right. So here we go. Here we go. Comments time. Let's go.
Here we go. Comments. Here we go.
So before getting into
the comments,
before getting into the most recent episode, I wanted to just go through some of these comments you got on the unboxing video.
Wait, so you're going back to the unboxing?
Because people are so stupid on it. It's just a couple.
Oh my gosh.
So that's the only video we get with outside viewers, except for like one about the Hilaria Baldwin. That got outside attention, but nobody commented.
Right.
So, the most recent one is by Killman that says, okay, this is about you and the laptop.
This is about me and the laptop, okay.
No, it's just, that's what the video is.
Oh, okay.
All it says is, price, please.
Price, please. I got it on discount because Walmart was late with their shipping, so it was like just over 500, I think. Is it just for just under? It's basically just to be safe, say 500.
Right. Is it, okay, this is by Con V. Is it made of plastic or metal outside?
I saw that one before, and I can't really tell.
It's probably plastic.
My guess is it's plastic, but it's so cold to the touch that it might have like a thin metal layer, but it doesn't. If it is, it's very thin metal. So my safe bet is probably plastic, but I'm not positive.
Mm-hmm.
So it does, and I didn't see anything saying on the box.
Okay, and this is probably the dumbest question: is it Windows?
Is it Windows? It is. I mean, it's Microsoft.
No, dude. Like, there would be no other thing it'd be operating on. It's Windows.
Well, yeah. Let me see. Oh, I don't know why I just closed out my screen. Damn it. You might have to edit that out.
What would it be?
I don't know. What other options would it be?
It would have to be Apple. There what other operating system
yeah, that's true. Yeah. So
Linux?
It's definitely... yeah, the Linux. No, it's definitely Microsoft.
Yeah, so
Windows.
I just thought that was funny.
So, yeah.
You get like the randomest questions on there.
That was weird.
Do you want to read Megan's comment?
I'd have to pull it up real quick. Let's see here.
I have it up if you just want me to read it.
I mean, yeah, you can if you want. It's on our last one, so
LeBron James is a colossal penguin was the name of it.
Right. I see that we have 4 comments total.
On that one?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I think 2 of them are replies.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Yeah, so all right. So I'll read Megan's. So Megan says, "Wow. Guess who's back?" Insert "Without Me" by Eminem. I'm glad my absence was noted. However, I don't regret it. No one tells me to back off a bit without facing the consequences.
Oh,
that's a shot at you, Danny.
You know what? She can't handle a joke. You know what? It was sad that we didn't have one on the last episode.
It is.
I missed it. Thing of Megan's comment, and I was kind of mad.
You know what?
I was kind of pissed off.
But the best way to make a point is to make waves, and she made some waves.
No.
Ripples, at least.
No, she killed the podcast.
She did. She lives and dies.
I didn't even want to do
comments.
it after no comments. Like,
yeah, you're like, what's the point? Who cares?
All right, keep going.
So, in my time away, I was able to solve world hunger, global warming, and produce another podcast. What about you? I will say, though, part of my heart was missing due to the lack of involvement in GMS. This is going to be a beast of a comment, so prepare yourselves. Oh, this is. All right, so going back 2 episodes, can we please laugh at the fact that Kyle was drinking a Bud Lightning at the beginning? LOL. I was drinking a Bud Lightning.
I was kind of pissed off at that. This is a business. You don't drink on the job.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Have I drank on the job? No.
I don't know. Have you? You tell me.
Not this job.
Right. Other jobs, who knows? All right. I appreciate that this episode's background intro song was "You Got a Friend in Me." #respect.
The really bad backtrack that's like.
And then it says the audio quality of this episode =. So is our audio not good?
I think our audio is fine.
Yeah.
We've had much worse audio quality before.
And then Kyle singing Wicked songs =.
Maybe she means because it might have cut out a couple times.
Maybe. It might have, yeah. And then I've got a question. First of all, how dare you guys add silly rules to the guest spot? Oh, like when we were going to talk about
it was just a suggestion. Get over it.
You know what? Here's the thing. Here's the beauty about GMS. It's our podcast, our rules.
That's
our
true.
show, our rules.
It is our
we don't
show.
want a podcast and tell you the rules. So
yeah, that's true.
So we do what we want, but we appreciate the feedback.
Yeah. No, it's ours. That's it. Don't ever comment again.
All right, and then back at it with the limericks too from the best NPR show, WWDTM.
Oh, these are stolen? Are you kidding me? They're not even original limericks?
I guess not. All right. So until this darn COVID thing passes, this here tip might just help out the masses. Though everyone tries not to touch or rub eyes, it'll help if you put on some glasses. I'm guessing it's got to be
what
that.
What else would it be?
I don't know.
Molasses.
Molasses. So everybody should put on some molasses. No,
I think
some
describing
glasses.
things as like going as slow as molasses is funny. It's just like...
You're as slow as molasses. Like I'm trying to say like how slow you are. Like you're dumb. You're as slower than molasses.
I think that's funny.
That is. All right. I'm not sure what that headline is regarding, but it's got to be something with some type of glasses.
Yeah.
All right. Second one. On TikTok, I've seen some reports that say legs look good on and off courts. More guys have been seen with cute 5-inch inseams. So I've cut down on the length of my
shorts,
yeah.
I don't know the headline, but
yeah, I don't know. I was trying to figure out what the first two rhymes were, but it's reports and courts.
Yeah.
So then shorts. So I've cut down the length of my shorts.
So I guess on TikTok there are people wearing short shorts or something?
I guess so. Yeah, it's got to be. Like guys wearing short shorts.
It's funny, like back in the 80s, that was a fashion. Like people wearing super short shorts.
I'm like, I hope that never comes back, but I mean, think
I'd
about
rock
like
the shit out of that. I got great thighs.
Oh, would you? You just go out in like some 4-inch shorts.
People sometimes wear that to the gym. Like, okay.
Yeah, there's some people at our gym that comes in and is super annoying. It's like, all right, you don't need to show off to everybody. Like everybody here is trying to
shredded legs.
Yeah, I'm like, congrats. You did what everybody here is trying to do. You want a cookie?
I would love a cookie. Yes, please.
Yeah. All right. So now, are you gonna read the other?
There's not really anything else. Emma commented, and then I commented, and then Megan commented on that.
Yeah. So the answer, as you guys know from last week's, was Bill Gill, GMS 14 if necessary. So Emma, thank you for going above and beyond.
Yeah, above and beyond.
Her scrambling to see if anyone else commented yet at 3 a.m. That's dedication.
That is dedication.
3 a.m. Comment is a dedication. And then Danny commented, "Hey!" And then Megan said, "Yas, I can't wait for this." So those were our comments. So again, guys, comment. Whether it be the answer to this week's Who, What, When, Why, weird.
Something about the movie we talked about, or the discussion we had, the topic of the week.
Serial killers, whatever. Anything that you guys want to talk about, please comment.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
I think this was a good one because we actually had something prepared this time.
Yeah, we had a nice structure. Also, yes, please tell us, do you guys like this new structure where we don't feel like we're forcing the weird. We bring in a little bit of weird to make it our own. And
funny.
We also go back and we also go back to our roots of movies, and we know that we love movies. We hope that you guys like movies, and if there's movies you want us to talk about, comment those too. We're open to talking about any movie, watching a movie, etc.
Yeah, that was the impetus of this podcast from the start. It's just why I didn't want to immediately get back into that. Sounds like an excuse, but I felt like I didn't have time to, like, you know, watch a movie and then outside of the stuff we're already doing and just prepare something for that, because I had a lot of more time in college where I could do that. But so maybe we'll try to keep this going then. So
yeah, I mean, in the very least, we'll always have a movie each week to talk about, if nothing else, because we have our movie
what
group.
I want to do is actually do something trending, like Netflix streaming or something we can both watch, that people will have some name recognition about.
Right. So if there's new movies coming out that you're excited about, that you want us to check out, to maybe do a review for you with minimal spoilers, let us do that for you too, to see if it's worth you buying the stuff.
Because I can't
probably
review the movie without spoilers.
I know, but minimal spoilers, I think. Like, you know, not going into in-depth detail about every little thing, but yeah, we love the comments, and again, congratulations and thank you for coming on, Emma, and go out and try to everybody, go out and try to be the next guest on GMS.
All right, that's it. It's over.
That's on. Kaput. Capiche?
We'll talk at you guys later.
All right, guys. Bye.